Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where we are looking at the answers to last week's feedback challenge on writing example sentences. The challenge was to write an example sentence for the first main body paragraph of the question, some believe that nuclear weapons benefit the world at large. The topic sentence that we were trying to support was the main reason why I totally disagree that nuclear weapons benefit the world at large is because they damage the environment. So the key things here is we need to be talking about nuclear weapons, that they do not benefit the world, and they cause damage to the environment. So let us look at our first example. We've got take Hiroshima and Nagasaki for an example. People who live there still feel the radiation. Rather than feel the radiation, because I'm not sure if they're actually feeling it, but are affected by, I think would be better here. So, still affected by the radiation after many decades and suffer from leukemia and other side effects because of the nuclear what? So here, nuclear is an adjective because of the nuclear fallout from the bombs that damage the whole environment. Okay, so definitely the idea is supporting our topic sentence, but a few language errors. Let's have a look at our next one. So for example, Hiroshima is an evidence. So evidence is uncountable. And here we just say Hiroshima is evidence, these weapons. And here we don't say having. If you say is evidence, these weapons, we don't use the gerund form, we use the normal form here. So Hiroshima as evidence that weapons have devastating effects on the environment, and also when we refer to human race, there's only one of them, so it's the human race. And even after years, the effects of the radiation are still there at low levels. So I think we could say are still felt or experienced. And then we're talking about low levels in general, there would be no modifier here. So again, definitely a relevant specific example. We're talking about Hiroshima, we're talking about weapons. They've had a devastating effects on the environment. So a relevant example. Looking at our next one. So for example, after a nuclear accident, here we say that occurred, or which occurred in Chernobyl, the city was totally damaged as all its plants died. And here we say the water, specific water, which is in its rivers, was poison. So we've got something specific. We're talking about Chernobyl. We're talking about something to do with nuclear, the effects on the environment. However, we're not talking about nuclear weapons. We're talking about a nuclear power plant. So while this is vaguely related, this isn't strongly supporting our idea because it's not addressing a very key part of our topic sentence, which was nuclear weapons. So the other examples which are being used here, like in Japan, are going to be much stronger examples here. Then looking at our last one, for example, what happened to Japan during World War II? World War II is actually a proper noun. It's the name of something. So what happened to Japan during World War II, and what did to life there? So, and what did to life? So what nuclear weapons, we need a subject here, did to not live, but life. So here, like to live is a verb, but we're talking about the noun. So for instance, what happened to Japan during World War II and what nuclear weapons did to life there? and then it doesn't make sense to have this when. So what's caused us a lot of problems here is this trying to use relative clauses. So let me see how I can reword this. So I think we're talking about in Japan during World War II. So let's keep this as a simple prepositional phrase. So in Japan during World War II. This part, I don't understand why it's here. So let's keep it simple. So we're not having a relative clause because there's nothing you're describing. So simply in Japan during World War II, nuclear weapons wiped out all kinds of life and made the place inhabitable, just a spelling mistake here, for decades. Okay, so this is better, but be very careful of your grammar and don't try and use overly complicated grammatical structures when they're not appropriate. So here, for this student, you need to be very careful and work on when and why you are using relative clauses. Those were all of our answers for this week's challenge. So thank you for the students that participated. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Hope you found it useful, and good luck in all of your studies.